I'm a huge fan of the Porsche Taycan. The all-electric machine drives wonderfully, delivers decent enough range, and charges quite quickly. And you can get it as a wagon, which is frankly amazing in this day and age, at least here in the States. And rather quietly, Porsche rolled out a software update that makes the Taycan even better. This includes revised motor calibration, better charging speed, and even increased range in most models. And I put the whole system to the test earlier in the year when I drove a Taycan GTS sedan from Orange County up to the Bay Area for Autopia 2099, then back home when the weekend was over. How'd the car perform? In a word, wonderfully. Now, I had a bunch of insight that I captured along the way. At each stop, I grabbed my camera and opined on various points. I'm sure it was all quite insightful and well said. The problem for me, being an idiot and all, is that I had the camera on the wrong setting and it was capturing everything in slow-mo, which means no audio was being captured. So instead, you get this talking head bit we have here. My apologies for being a dumbass. Here's the gist of it all though. I am a co-founder of Autopia 2099, and our second show took place at a great venue in Richmond, California. To drive there, I wanted to do the trip in an EV. It's about 430 miles each way, which means charging stops will definitely be involved. And what better car for the trip than one with one of the fastest charging speeds? And it's not too shabby with respect to road speeds. To best make use of the car and its refreshed smartness, I set the onboard nav to my destination. Then with the phone paired, I had Waze running in the background. The Taycan tells me where it thinks I should stop to charge, what percent state of charge I'll need to hit before I can leave, and where the next stop will be. The cool bit here is that if I'm grabbing juice at a good clip, I can stay for longer than the Porsche says I should. That's because it's trying to get me there quickly, and for the car that means topping off to a level that's enough to get to a not too far away station. However, sometimes that means just getting to 50% full. I'd rather go to a much higher state of charge and push onward to a farther station. The nav, once seeing how much juice the car has taken on, corrects to a more distant station and we can push the car farther and stop fewer times. And the result is a trip that was comfortable, quick, and didn't take much longer than it would have in my own Montero or the Jag. We've covered the GTS already, so go watch that video for what makes this one of my favorite cars you can buy today. Assuming you have tons of dough, of course. But I want to talk about how easily it was to road trip this thing. Yes, not every station worked as intended. You don't always get advertised speeds. Some stations were offline and others are just in the middle of nowhere. But the car performed flawlessly, and the onboard smarts helped me make the right decision with respect to when and where to charge, how much to charge up to, and how I should tackle the road ahead. For example, I stopped short of the Grapevine in California. For those that don't know, this is a major section of highway that runs for 40 miles and has a steep climb before a descent either down into Los Angeles if you're heading south or north into wide open California farmland. I topped the car off so I could skip a stop in LA and just run straight on home to Orange County. I was nervous that the range would take a big hit on that climb though, but it didn't, and I pressed on running nice and quick once I realized this. Also knowing that the descent on the other side would lead to some range gained back, and that's exactly what happened, and I could easily track it all through the nav to see how I was doing. I left the Bay Area on Sunday morning around breakfast time, and I was home to help with dinner with my family in South Orange County later that day. I arrived comfortable in the Porsche and with plenty of charge to spare. Though, one last feature to mention here is that you can tell the car how much charge you'd like to arrive with, and it can alter your drive route accordingly. So if you get nervous, set it to get you to a station with 10 to 20% in reserve. Me, I run lower than that, and on the final leg, knowing that I have a charger in my garage, I can basically set it to almost zero at that point. It's a great feature to help you plan your trip efficiently and comfortably with respect to how you want to charge along the way.